Hey guys, welcome to Moments of Clarity. This is your boy Charlie Tubbs III. I am so happy that you came in to check out Moments of Clarity today. So do me a huge favor while you're in the space. Do me a huge favor and like and share. That'll be cool. And you can invite your friends into this great conversation I'll be having today with my good friend Deanna-Reed Foster. She's a great artist. She's an artist at heart. And so we're continuing this series, Artist at Heart. It's a creative series, and I'm so excited that I have my good friend here today, Deanna-Reed Foster. We're going to have some great conversations today. So I'm just excited that she's on and she's here, she's available. So, hey, guys, without further ado, let's chop up with my girl, Miss Deanna-Reed Foster. What's up, lady?
What's up?
How are you today?
I'm good, baby. I'm good. How are you?
I am great. What's up, Chi-Town?
That's where we met.
I love Chicago. We did meet in Chicago. We met actually working on a couple projects, and I appreciate you for being who you are. But you've been doing a lot of great things since we met. You've been doing a lot of TV work and doing a lot of cool things. So share with our viewers some things that you were doing, and then we'll talk about what you're currently doing now.
Oh, cool. So what I was doing actually when I met you, I was stage managing. So I did some stage management for you, which I have stopped doing because that's just a whole lot of work. Shout out to all the stage managers out there. Shout out. I am not the one. So I'm an actress and singer, more a better actress than I am singer. And so I have branched into more TV and film work. So that's what I have been doing mostly. but I still do theater. It's still my first love. So was in Lowell, Massachusetts in January and February, beginning of March, doing a show, Nina Simone for women. So I'm steady doing theater. We ain't doing nothing right now, but TV, you could see me on Chicago Fire for 3 seasons. You can see me on Chicago PD. You can see me in several other Chicago shows. A couple of weeks ago, I had a little cameo on The Shy, and different movies. Southside with You, Last Flag Flying, different stuff. I'm an
That is
actress. I
You're
be
an
working.
actress. That's what you do. Yes, I love all of that. I love that so much. And so I'm excited to be able to chop up with you. So right now you have a project that you're working on. Tell us, it's called I Am Tired. So tell us
Yes.
about the inception of that project and just tell me more about what that project is.
Yeah, so it's a passion project, and
Oh, good.
when the pandemic hit, all of us were effectively out of work. Everybody in the arts, it just shut down completely, and we were doing nothing. And then George Floyd was, excuse me, and then George Floyd was murdered, and it shook me to the core. And I spent about 3 days, honestly, mourning and grieving over my people and my city. And I asked God, what can I do? I just kept asking, what can I do? What can I do? And I feel like God said to me, my daughter, you're asking the wrong question. The question is not what can you do? The question is what must you do?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow. So I started asking that question. What must I do, God? What must I do? And within like a day or a day and a half, God had given me this project. And I said, okay, so what is it for? And he said, it's to rebuild the south and west sides of Chicago that have been affected by the civil unrest, rightfully so, that's going on in our country. And so I sat down. I have a mentor that has taught me that whenever you sit down to create, you say, Creator, create through me. And I sat down and did that. And God gave me this 3 video series project called I'm Tired. It's three different videos. The first one is See Me. The second one is Hear Me. And the third one is Respect Me. And so they're more like PSA forms. So they're anywhere from a minute and a half to about 3 minutes. And I partner with an organization called Together Chicago, who is doing kind of boots on the ground work to help businesses, Black businesses on the south and west sides of Chicago. So this PSA is a fundraiser to help those businesses. I don't have the money to pour into those businesses. If I did, I would, right? I don't, but I know that there is money out there. My husband has been really good at teaching me there is no lack of money. There's a lack of disbursement of money, but there
Yeah.
is no lack of money. Come
Yeah. Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying. This is my effort in the fight, right? I'm not going to be marching. That's not what I'll do. But what I can do is take my art and make a statement, and hopefully inspire people to give, so we can try to balance this thing out. Right? It's been
Yeah.
so imbalanced for centuries now.
Yeah.
So it's my little pebble in the water.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's a dope idea. And so this it's a web series. So there are 3 segments to the web series. And the idea is as people watch it, as people are inspired by it, because I find that to be an issue. And we both know there's an issue in this country that this country definitely has a racial hot seat, and it's extreme to the point that most people, which is it's crazy how extreme it is, and
Yeah.
it's interesting how most people don't even see it or acknowledge it that it actually exists. So I know you being a Black woman, that is a double.
Mhm, mhm.
That's a double. So how are you adjusting in this climate? Well, you've lived in it all your life. It hadn't,
Right.
obviously the pandemic. I think has. I think I said on a few weeks ago on my live, like when Rona hit initially, I felt like it was like a purification process.
Mm,
And during the purification process, what happens is all the negative or all the bad comes to the top.
come
And
on.
so we're sitting at home and we get to see America for the ugly that we've always known it to be. It's just now more on a global scale. So how are you moving? How are you um, responding as a creative, and I know this is one project that you're responding to, the I'm Tired, and the message just speaks home all by itself because
Right,
Black people are tired.
right,
We
right.
are tired of having these conversations. We are tired of seeing our bodies, the bodies of Black and brown boys on television, being slaughtered but from the hands of police officers, but also the gang violence as well. We're
Yeah,
just tired on
just
every
yeah,
level. So
yeah.
how are you maneuvering in this process? I know this is one project, but what else are you doing to try? Are you having conversations? Are you in the community? What else are you doing?
Oh,
Uh,
Jesus. So I am first. Let me just kind of piggyback off of something that you said. Um, I, I think that Rona came. I agree with you, purification, but I think Rona also, if you look at the virus itself, it attacks the parts of your body that are weakened, right? That are compromised. And I think that it has done the same thing with our society. It has done
yeah.
the same thing with our country. It
Yep.
has attacked the things that were not shored up in the first place,
Yep.
right? The
Yep.
things that were weak. And so it's time for a reckoning. It's just what it is.
Right.
What I am doing during this time is reevaluating my whole entire life. Do you hear
Yep.
me? Do
See?
you hear me?
Yes,
When
ma'am.
I had I praise God, I signed with a new management team while we were on the pandemic, which I absolutely love. They are so great. But in signing with them, I made it clear, right, who I am, right, and I said to them that I am an African American before I am an artist. And I
Right.
have said that statement a lot, especially after George Floyd was murdered, because a lot of people want to kind of do the status quo, right? They want to try to do business as usual. And that's just never going to work again.
Right.
Just never. And so you don't get I mean, at one point I was like hell on wheels. I'm going to just tell you the truth. You
Yeah.
don't get to slide up in my email and just send me an email and not address what's going on. You don't get
Right.
to do that, especially as a person who is not melanated. You don't get to do that, right?
Mhm.
And so
Yep.
then I'm gonna call you out on that.
Yep.
But what God told me, which I'm glad He told me this, what God told me is that I'm considered one of the good ones, and you know what I mean when I say that. I'm
Mhm.
considered one of the non-confrontational ones. I'm considered one of the nice ones. And so what God shared with me is, so when you say it out of your mouth, Deanna, it hits different, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
they're used to hearing it from who you want to call the agitators, that kind of group or whatever. They're like used to hearing it from them. And so when you say it, Deanna, and you're one of the good ones, it hits different. And so
Right.
I've been saying it as much as I can. I had a sister who encouraged me. I started hitting up theater companies, man. I'm in my emails and I'm hitting up theater companies like, hey, I've worked with you before. It would be great to know if you really do believe Black Lives Matter, and people were responding. Now the proof is in the pudding. Let's just
Right.
tell the truth. We can say a whole lot of stuff. The proof will show later on in the works. Faith without works is dead, and I'm over
Every
here in a
time.
breach. Come on. But yeah, I've been having those conversations. I'm a part of an ensemble um, who's celebrating 30 years, and I'm the first and only African American in the ensemble. Um, Shout out to Charlotte Globe. They are trying to move forward. I don't doubt that it's hard work. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's
Right.
it's hard work. And so I'm in the rooms with them with that hard work. And I'm having tough discussions. And you know, and for some people it's eye-opening. For others it's heartbreaking. I mean, it just goes the gamut. For me, it's like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do, and I don't make any excuse for it, but I can understand it. If the whole world has revolved around your perception, around your perspective, the whole world has revolved around your perspective. So I can understand why this seems so foreign to you.
Yeah.
It is
It's,
foreign. It
yeah.
is foreign to you.
It's so true. I get it. I did a series of conferences in 2017, 18, and it was called Culture Shock. And it was designed just to do that. Because people can too. I talked to a group of millennials that I mentor, and I was talking about the that all of us, we all live in, we were born into, and we have this strong potential to live in a bubble, right? We could live in a bubble. All of us, black, white, all races. We could live in a bubble. We could be raised in a bubble. We could be taught certain. We can taught be taught certain ideals in a bubble. Um, and our responsibility, though, then is when we get out into socialize and we get out into systems like we have to work with, we have to mingle with, we have to interact with. It is wise to be mature and grow up out of certain things that
Mhm.
maybe you were taught as a child. But
Yeah,
as you start maneuvering and having to deal with other people that are not like you, then you have to pop that bubble,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
And you
If
have
you
to
have
see,
to, if
you
you
have
have
to,
to.
yeah,
And that's one of the things that I was saying, that the average white person can live a totally successful life and never have to depend on a person of color to do anything for them.
right,
And so they're not forced to pop that bubble.
right,
Because again, but for us as African Americans, as people of color in general, we are taught that in
mhm.
order to get to a certain level in life, you got to know how to talk to white folk. You
That's
got to
crazy.
know how to placate white folk. You got to know how to assimilate. We are
Yeah,
taught that.
right.
And so, yeah, but like you said, you pop that bubble, but if you don't even know it's a bubble,
See,
you don't even know it's a bubble.
yeah.
Jesus.
But that's the culture shock part of it, and I think that's what a lot of white people probably dealing with now is a culture shock because it's clearly it's two different Americas, right? And you can see that so clear right now with the Democratic and the Republican. Like the Democratic National Conference was last week. This week is Republican conference, and I just watched a little bit of that one last night. I was like, where are these people from?
A whole
Where-
different country, right? It feels like a whole different country.
that is
And
so
they looked at
interesting to me.
DNC last week and said the same thing.
That is interesting. That is interesting to me. It's problematic in so many different ways. And so we have a responsibility. I try to encourage people that I mentor to know that the world don't change without you. And
Yeah,
so I want to applaud you for doing what you are doing to understand what your role is, because everybody has a role to play.
everybody.
Um, and that's what make the body, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's crazy for my hands to be cussing my feet out saying, why aren't you picking up stuff? It don't make sense, right? It wasn't
Yeah,
designed to do that. But once you identify what your purpose is, once you identify like what role you can play, like you're using the arts to one, speak your truth
yep.
and speak the truth of a group of people that have been oppressed and unheard in a lot of ways. And that's what I feel like this country just don't, they're not getting it. That's not clicking.
Mm-mm.
That it's just so unheard. And so I applaud you, one, for using the arts for that platform, but then also using the arts to speak to the complexities of Black and Brown people in this country. It's
Yeah,
very, very complex. And then more so, it's a whole nother level of frustration when you talk about Black women. It's a whole nother layer of discrimination that comes with Black women that I know you can speak to easily.
it's a whole nother layer of frustration, but it's a whole nother layer of pressure as well.
I
And
agree.
let me say this: my Black brothers, I love you, and I don't know how y'all do it. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I don't know how y'all do it. I don't know how y'all carry what y'all have to carry.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know how you do it. We as Black women carry something different, right? Is it as heavy? I don't know. Ain't nobody measuring. What we carry though is this thing of perfectionism a lot. Um, and we carry that we can't be wrong a lot. We carry it's so many things, and then we carry the Black man. It's just the truth of the matter. I'm a Christian. I'm a believer, right? A believer in Jesus. I'm a disciple of Christ, and I believe that we as women are helpmates, right? We are helpers, and in order to help you, I need to know where you are. and I need to feel what you need. And so not only do I help you get there, I have to feel that with you. And so it's it's just a whole nother kind of animal, not animal. It's just a whole nother kind of thing, being a Black woman and navigating. And because sometimes we are the peacemakers, right? Black men are feared more than Black women are. So then we got to kind of step in and try to be the peacemaker when I ain't feeling like peace, right? Because ain't nothing wrong with my man. Why are you scared of him?
Right.
Um, yeah, I'm finding different ways to communicate. I will say that because I know, and I'll again say, I believe God told me this, that that people have to know that you respect them before they can hear anything from you. And excuse me, before they can hear anything from you. And so even when my white brothers and sisters say things that are utterly ridiculous, I still have to come from a place of respect and love. First of all, that's what God teaches me to do. It don't mean I can't speak truth.
Right.
It don't mean I can't speak truth, but I got to come from a place of respect and love as opposed of a place from anger, right? Which is the first response. Let's be honest, which is the first response. And so then I got to filter all that.
Yeah.
Jesus, I got to filter all that and process it. So what comes out of my mouth is received, because that's really the thing, right? I don't want to just be screaming and going back and forth and touting our ideas, and there is no change.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I spend an hour with you screaming at you, that don't do nothing, man. That don't do nothing. I just wasted an hour. But if I can sit down with you and have a conversation and filter if I must, that's just common courtesy, right? That ain't got nothing to do with racism. It's common courtesy. Well, it used to be. It used to be. My mama used to tell me everything that come up ain't got to come out, right? So I just need to take the time to do that and not speak in anger and not speak out of frustration. But it's work. Ooh, ooh. It's work.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it. And I'll be honest and say I haven't always done it.
Right.
Let's just be honest. When it was comfortable and or convenient to not do it, I didn't do it. Those days are over. Those days are over. You may not like what I say, but you can never say that I said it to you in a disrespectful way.
Right. Yep. And I think that's very, very important. I think that we do have to hold people to a higher level of accountability, especially right up and through this space. I know I have lost quite a few followers because I think we're similar in that way. I was taught well how to maneuver and how to communicate, so I'm very articulate. What most people don't understand is there's a king in me and there's a fool. It just depends on who you address that day.
I'm trying to keep that fool at bay. You hit me. I'm trying to.
That's what people don't understand. There is a king. You talk to him and he's respectful because he's just naturally respectful. He's going to bless you. But however, comma, if you speak to that fool, he's just as present as the king is. And so it comes back to, the reality that I think our government is missing. And even I'll even go back to say law enforcement, be respectful. And I know as a black man, I have had guns pulled on me over a simple traffic stop.
I'm sure.
And it's come to the car with guns out. Like, bro, what's going on? Sure. And I had to temper myself, but that's crazy. I shouldn't have to temper myself. At the end of the day, these police officers work for us. We don't work for them. And if I am a citizen, if I'm asking you a question like, hey, sir, can you tell me why you pulled me over? That shouldn't be met with no level of aggression. But we have a problem in our society, and it is frustrating. It is frustrating, and I'm just trying to encourage people not to get weary in well doing because it's tough. It's tough, Yeah. You got to be in it for the long haul because people have something stronger than wax in their ears. They have strongholds that went from here, that came here, and
Come on.
they cannot hear. And so you're right. Being argumentative doesn't help. Um, and It's almost like Malcolm and Martin. You know what I'm saying? And so Martin protested his way, and he was still killed. So this is a peaceful man, right? White
Mhm,
people still killed him. Um,
mhm,
Malcolm, on the other hand, was a little bit more militant, and
mhm.
he still died too.
He still
You know what
got
I'm
killed,
saying?
yeah.
So,
But what
so
I
it's
will
like
say is they both made change, right? They both
absolutely,
made change, and they both had a big following, and they are both remembered
mhm,
for the changes they made in our country. And so I'm a firm believer that there is no one way how to do this.
exactly,
There are
exactly.
many ways how to do this. There, one of the things that I'm hoping with this project is that, and I've said this before, that whatever scales that people have on their eyes and whatever scales they have on their ears and their heart, that these words penetrate through that,
Right.
because there is obviously something, like you said, blocking, right? Because it's not possible to hear these things and see these things and not have something go on inside of you, inside of your heart. So I want these words to pierce through that.
Right. And that is the prayer. Ultimately, as we are having conversations within even amongst ourselves, amongst Black people, the hope and the prayer is that people can, because I think even in our community, I think um, Black men and our culture and our community as a whole need to see Black women differently. And we have to celebrate them more, and we have to put them on pedestals more. We have to, celebrate and constantly adorn them with, great compliments, because I do know there's another level of struggle that Black women have. And Black men, we have a huge struggle. We have a huge thing that we have to carry on our backs all the time. There's always an X on a Black man's back. It's interesting how Black men become uh, uh, how they say, well, you look like somebody, the suspect, perhaps, or you resemble the suspect that we were looking for always, and that's a
Yeah.
matter of
So you're
convenience. It's a
guilty
matter of
until
convenience.
proven innocent.
Right. And that's a matter of convenience when it should be just the opposite. It should be just the other way around. That I'm innocent. That
Until
I'm
proven
innocent.
guilty.
Right.
Right.
To proven
Right.
guilty. But it's something with the psyche, and just the way the system's been operating so long. And again, the world don't change without either one of us. And so I applaud you for using your platform to communicate the truths that are needed to perhaps help people to see the world a different way,
Thank
to
you.
see that the world is more inclusive than it is exclusive. That
Yeah.
we live in a country that's a huge melting pot, and we have to, if we gonna believe any of that stuff on the paper, right? If
Come
we're gonna
on.
believe, listen, either we believe the stuff on the paper or tear it all up and start and do something else.
Right.
Uh,
Either it applies to me or it doesn't.
yeah, you're right.
One of
When
the
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I looked at a gentleman, a producer. He's a showrunner, and he did a short video about artists. And a lot of times people say artists, and he said the way he said it is we don't necessarily as artists change the world. What we do is we create art that changes the heart of the
Okay.
people who run the world, right? And then they change the world. We change the heart of the people. And I say, now
Mhm.
that right there will preach. You hear me?
Yeah.
Because art, real art, and especially
Mhm.
if you know how to really take it in, it
Yeah.
goes straight to the heart.
Yeah. It does.
It don't
Yeah.
necessarily go to the mind. You may think about it afterwards, but it goes straight to the heart. And so,
That's true.
as artists, we have a responsibility
Yeah.
to do
Yeah,
that.
we do have responsibility, and so and you're doing that very well. So I want you to break each segment down to me. The idea behind each segment. I know you said the first one had a theme, the second one had a theme, and the third one had a theme. So
Yeah.
let's talk through all those themes so we can give people more of an idea what to be looking for when they watch these episodes.
Cool. So, See Me I feel like as African Americans, we are not fully seen, right? I feel like you see me as a stereotype. I feel like you see me kind of like as a flat cardboard, but you don't see me in my fullness. And so the way this one starts off is in black and white and really not being seen, fully, and then it ends in color. But that's really what that premise is: see me in my fullness. The second one is called Hear Me, and it is really about compassion. When you think about a baby crying, when you hear a baby cry, there's something in you that pulls at you. It's instinctual. It is something that we were born with. And so the fact that you don't hear the cry of African Americans that have been crying and wailing for hundreds of years means that you've turned off that mechanism to hear us. And so I'm asking you to turn that back on. I'm asking
Yeah.
you to turn that back on, please, and hear me. And the third one is called Respect Me. Oh, I'm trying not to get emotional. The black man is the most disrespected man on this earth. And he has done more than enough to deserve the respect. And so it is all men in the last one called Respect Me. And they are all different shades and ages of black men who are fed up with not being respected and who are not asking to be respected anymore, but are demanding respect.
Yep. Yep.
And my husband actually helped me write that one because I wrote it. I wrote all of these. And I wrote that last one, and it was really nice, right? And the words really flowed. And I was like, but this doesn't sound like a man, right? Because I'm not a man, I'm a woman. And so I was like, hey, babe, can you help me with this? And he really came in and helped me fine tune it, helped me get straight to the point, because that's how men, talk less flowery sometimes than women do. And I mean, it hits the heart. Every time I watch it, now I get teary eyed. It hits straight to the heart.
Deanna, that's really really dope. And thank you for those words. I think that more people need this level of awakening, and the idea that respect is not something that we should have to ask for. It's not something we should grovel. And I get frustrated. So that there's a rub for me as a black man that I have to grovel for respect. When watch this, when I'm just naturally respectful, um, that is a rub.
Yeah,
That is a rub. And I'll be honest with you, most black men are just that. They're just respectful. We're taught that way, especially from if you're from the South. I'm from Mississippi, so I was raised to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, sir, no, no, ma'am. It's just the way I am, and I still do that. And people laugh at me. I have nieces and nephews that I talk to, and when they ask me a question, like my niece will ask me a question, I say yes, ma'am. And people are like, why you? That's a child. They still deserve my same respect, though.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
That's
you,
good.
right, either I'm going to raise them right or I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So we still have to.
That's good.
I respect everybody, and that's important to teach and communicate that to young people and the kids that are around us, just to be respectful. And I think that is something that's prevalent in our community. Sona Gimme, um, we're respectful until we're disrespected, and
Yeah,
then that's the rub. But that's all a part of being human too, right?
yeah.
And that's what I feel like this country doesn't acknowledge. It's like, oh, okay, just because you're in authority, you can just walk willy nilly and be disrespectful. Well, that don't fly. That don't work, right? That don't work in the real world. And I'll be honest with you, and that was one of the reasons why the Black Panther Party started. For the same reason. It
Mhm.
was disrespect from law enforcement. And so this group of brothers come together, arm themselves, and they're labeled as terrorists.
Cause right.
OMG. Ah.
I think
So yeah,
as a country though, and I don't know if it's the capitalism of the country, but as a country, we tend to only respect the people who have money or people who we consider valuable. And that's a
right.
word. conversation.
It is, but I just a little note. We definitely live in a capitalistic society, even more so than we live in a democratic society, because it's all about the money. That's what Americans chase more than anything else. Is that money? Is that paper? The more money you have, the more respect you can get. If you don't have any money, then oh man, please, child, whatever. And
Yeah.
that is foul on so many levels, especially when you think about how systems have been set up to keep Black people in a certain, you know what I'm saying, financial bracket. No, we're not gonna give you this. We're not gonna open up the same doors we do for our white counterparts. We'll just keep y'all over in the corner. Okay, yes, stay ghetto. And
And it's
go ahead.
learned at such a young age. I had this probably was 5 years ago, maybe longer than that, where I did a session at a youth organization. I think it was After School Matters or something like that. And so I came to speak to the youth, and some of them were interested in getting into acting. And so, just want to come in and talk to them and stuff. And, um, they were teenagers, so some of them were on their phones and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. And I look, I'm here for one day, baby. We ain't about to go at it. Go do what you're going to do. And so then I said, hey, I brought my headshot and resume. So in case you've never seen what a professional headshot and resume looks like. And so I passed around my headshot and resume. And then the kids, the students saw some of the things that I had done, right? Saw some of the TV shows, some of the movies I had been on. And then they start sitting up straight, right? And then they start talking to me like they had some sense, right?
Yes.
And I said, and I let them do it, right? They were asking questions. Oh, you know so and so, you met so and so, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I said, now let me say something to you.
Mm-hmm.
A few minutes ago, you didn't want to have nothing to do with me, and now you think I'm somebody, and so now you want to respect me. So here's the deal: you need to respect me because I'm a human being. Period. Not because of who you think I am, not
Right.
because of what you think I can do for you, but because I am breathing. You need
See,
to respect me. And then I'll tell you, like my mother used to say, first of all, my mother has so many sayings. My mother used to say, you can hear rat piss on carpet. That's how quiet it was in that place. You can hear rat piss on carpet, honey.
I love it.
We gotta teach. We have to teach each other, right? We gotta teach
Exactly.
each other too. And they teenagers. We know how teenagers are, whatever.
Absolutely.
I bet you they remember that.
Absolutely. But I always say this, and I try to encourage teenagers or anybody else, especially even Black men that's in my life, and I try to encourage a word of wisdom. You have to teach people how to handle you so they won't mishandle you.
Come on.
And yeah, that's a problem that society is broke in that area. But again, I'm a teacher by nature, so I'm gonna help you because I don't want to be mishandled by you. So I will teach you, and I will put all the energy to teaching you how to handle me because I don't want to be mishandled by anybody.
Yeah.
So that's the effort that we all have to do within our lives, within our personal spaces, but then also in our professional spaces as well. Teach people how to handle you so they won't mishandle you. That's
Yep.
the word of wisdom for the day. But
We
then
haven't
also,
felt empowered to do that though, because when we
exactly
do that, then we are labeled as a troublemaker,
right.
and we are labeled as difficult to work with, and stuff like that. So, and then, or we are fired, or we don't get the next job. You know what I'm saying? And so then we have swallowed that. We know it
Yeah.
instinctively, right? Instinctually, we know that, but we haven't been empowered to do it.
Yeah, and that so it goes back to what I said earlier that and I think Jason is in our live, Jason K, and he was saying that the system is rigged and we must change it, and I agree. It goes back to what I said earlier that the world don't change without us. And that's us. Each one of us has an individual responsibility to provoke change in the world. That starts like with how we raise our kids. That starts with everything that we do is provoking change in the world system. And I'm gonna say this too because I'm writing a book, and the name of the book is entitled "When I Heal, You Heal."
Mm, mm, mm.
And the power behind that is that that we all have a responsibility. We have a responsibility to make sure that I feel like you here, like you're part of the generation that's living now, and I'm not sure if your parents are alive, if they passed, with your grandparents or great grandparents. But the fact that you are individually, you're alive here today, you have a responsibility to challenge and potentially debunk old ideals that don't serve our modern society.
My God. My
All of
God.
us have that responsibility, and I feel like that's where white people have erred. Some white people have erred in that they haven't challenged these old ideals. All we are hearing from in 2020, all we're hearing from is ghost. And they
Mm,
ain't holy, they ain't the holy ones either.
mm,
we
mm.
just we're just hearing from ghosts. These ideals are from the 30s or 40s and the 50s. It's like we're in
The
2020.
1800s.
You still thinking like that? So we're talking to ghosts. And
Wow.
that's why a lot of them can't hear. But I
Wow.
think when you understand that you have a responsibility to debunk it, as you again, it's popping that bubble when you realize, oh, okay, all right, yeah. So in the past, yeah, black people weren't equal with white people. White people have to realize I'm responsible for making sure that the black people that I work with, that I serve with, that they are felt as equal. And the problem is people don't do that in general. We don't challenge our own ideals.
We don't challenge, especially if it's serving us, right? Why challenge something that's serving us?
Right,
The,
right.
and power isn't usually transferred. Let's just be real. Power
Yep.
is not usually transferred. Power is usually stripped.
See,
Come
you're
on.
saying something. Come on through.
Now we live in a democratic society, so it's transferred real nice and pretty. But most of the time, power is not transferred like that. It has to be ripped, and a lot of time it takes blood. Come on, somebody. Now I
Now,
preach that whole thing. It takes blood.
now you talking about now you saying something. I don't know if the people listening can even hear that, but you're real clear to me.
That,
Because again, especially we live in a democratic society. So when I say the world don't change without you, so that means that all of us have to do what we have to do, right? As it relates to making sure that we are a part of the world that we want to live in. And
yes,
so if that means voting to get certain people in office, then that's what we have to do. If that means protesting to get certain people out of office, and that's what we have to do. All of us are responsible for making sure that we have that we're raising kids in the society that we want to be a part of.
yeah,
And
that,
yeah, it's unfortunate that I understand why black people, why minorities don't believe in the voting process
well,
because
but
we
it
keep
hasn't served us. It hasn't. I
having
mean, let's
served us.
be honest. It hasn't served us.
Talk
Nothing
about
in
it
this
now.
country, nothing in this country has served us, right? Nothing in this country has served us, and so I get it, but I still think it's necessary, right? Because there
Right.
was again blood that was shed for the right to do that, and if we are asking for equality, then part of equality is voting. So don't step on the equality that you do have,
Right.
right? So let's do that. But I get it. It ain't served us in the past. It ain't
Right.
served us in the past. It hasn't. One of the things that God has been really bringing to my remembrance as of late,
See?
um, and I know I'm supposed to do something with this. I'm not quite sure yet, but there's a young lady who I met. Wow, it was probably 25 years ago, maybe 23 or so years ago. I was in my 20s, let me say that. And she was a teenager, and her and her family lived in the projects. And I was doing this mentoring program. It was called Heart to Heart. And the premise of it was what comes from the heart reaches the heart. So we were mentoring younger girls, and I was driving this. I don't know if I was driving her home. I'm not sure where I was driving her. And she was in the back seat. I'm in the front seat, and I hear her phone ring, and she is like, "Oh snap! We got to roll on them. They didn't came and jumped you, and now we gotta. I'll be there. We gonna handle this. I'll be there." And I'm sitting in the front seat, and I'm like, because I've been just to tell the truth, I've been a good girl like my whole life. I didn't have a few fights, but I'm pretty much a good girl. And I was like, oh God, what's that? Should I say something? What should I say? And when she got off the phone, what I said to her was, is there another option?
Yeah.
Charlie, I wouldn't believe it if somebody told me this. The look on that girl's face,
Yeah.
it was absolutely clear to me that she had never considered another option.
Yep. That's good.
And I said, I was like, and she was like, what? I mean, look, she looked at me with utter confusion. She said, what? I said, I'm just asking, is there another option? And she was like, this is what we do. I don't know what you're talking about. Is there another option? This is what we do. This is all I know. That's what she said to me. This all I know. And so then we have a responsibility as African Americans as well for you to know something different, baby.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just said, I don't know the answer to this, baby. I said, but is it possible that you don't go fight her? And she was like, I ain't never thought of that before.
Yeah.
And so I think about that when people say, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, right? Do better and stuff. I don't even know. I don't have a concept of better. I don't know what a better is. This is all I know. This is all I know. That stuff on TV is fairy tale stuff.
Right.
I don't know that stuff. And so what is that? Right? How do we fix that? Because that was 25, 27 years ago or whatever. Please don't think that there's still not a lot of people who think that same way. I'll dare say people who are out there, a lot of the people out there looting are thinking that way.
Yeah.
This is all I know.
Yeah, absolutely. And then it is frustration. And I think that most people can talk about the what. And I hear a lot of these conservatives talk about the what. Oh, they're looting and they're tearing up downtown. Oh, I hear all that drama. And but nobody ever stops to ask the why.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you understand the why, the what, you get on the shut up on that.
Yeah.
Because the why is it's everything. It is everything. And when people understand the why, then life gets clearer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life gets clearer, and then you can learn, because most people don't have it, but you can actually learn empathy. You can learn sympathy if your heart is open. If you are comfortable enough in your own skin to be vulnerable and to be, dare I say, human. You can learn. You can learn empathy, and I think it is. I think people that live their life without being sympathetic and empathetic, that is a huge part of the human experience, right? Is to feel, right? And so for people that can't feel, I feel the sorriest for. It's like, man, you are having a terrible ride.
Yeah.
You're having a terrible ride in life school, that you cannot feel what other people are feeling, that you can't be empathetic and sympathetic to the history of this country and how complex it is, and how how so many things have been stacked up against minorities and black and brown people in this country, that you can't be sympathetic and empathetic to that. To one, if you see outrage or when you see riots, MLK says that the riots are just the voices of the unheard. People, and that's all it is every time, because it is a level of frustration that happens when we're seeing the same thing over, and then people are getting put on administrative leave. Oh, you mean they're still getting paid? That means we're still paying them?
Yeah,
and these are murderers out in these streets? So we're paying people to kill black people. That's what we're doing in these streets? Not on my watch. So yeah, I will say that the greatest power that we have right now, like you said, is the power to vote. And so everybody decided about the presidential election, and we just can't stop there, because the president, fine, that's whatever. It is what it is. But the lawmakers, these senators, these are the ones that are making these laws that are keeping us down. So we just can't get so excited about this presidential election that we don't come back for these senators and these people that are holding up funding right now for some people.
Yeah, come on. Come on.
Woo, jeez.
We
You
have a
don't have to let.
responsibility. I
Right.
don't even think, some people say we get the privilege to vote. It's not even a privilege anymore. It's a responsibility. It is a responsibility that we have to vote, even if it's just because I remember, and this ain't too long ago, right? I remember when President Obama won the election. My mother has gone to the other side of life. I remember seeing her face that night.
Yeah, yeah,
Because she grew up in the 60s, right?
yeah,
She grew up in that. And I
yeah.
remember seeing her face that night. So I'm going to say this to you. If you don't want to vote, do it for somebody who lived through the 60s.
Right.
Do it for somebody who couldn't do it before. Now, if
That's
you
right.
don't want to do it for yourself, whatever, you deal with that. But do it for somebody who shed blood for the right to do it
That's
and
right.
couldn't do it. Do it for
That's
them
right.
then.
That's right.
Do it
That's
for
right.
them, but do it. You have a
Make sure you do it.
responsibility. I don't care nothing about no vote by mail, whatever, however you do it, do it. Now, see, because then I get all on that because we go out, even in the pandemic, and do everything else we want to do. Now,
I'm
come
saying
on.
something.
You can go out there and vote. I be seeing y'all.
Exactly. No, it's good. That's good. It is our responsibility, and I think what I've been trying to produce and what I've been trying to mentor around me is people that understand what I've been saying over and over and over again. Is that the world don't change without you. It just doesn't change without you. Each one of us have an imprint. Our responsibility is to make that imprint on the world. I'll never let it be said that all this stuff is going on in the world and in the country. And as a creative, as someone that aspires to be a father one day, that I will never let it be said to my kids that I just sat back and watched the world change. No, 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 no. Yeah, no. I'm
And I
responsible
had
for
no
getting out
part in
there.
it. And I
Right.
just had no part in it.
Right. I'm responsible
Ooh.
for getting out there and making sure that my voice is heard, that my vote is heard, and my vote is counted for. And I'm responsible for making sure that I'm putting people in office that are advocating for the needs of my community.
Yeah.
And fine, if you like, oh no, we're not interested in it, fine. I'm not interested in voting for you either. And so we got to realize your vote is your power. Your vote is your power to make change. And that's one level, that's one way that we can start making changes locally and statewide and nationally.
Absolutely.
So, and it don't cost you nothing. Don't cost you no
Nope,
money,
it don't
baby.
cost us nothing but getting to the voting place. That's it.
That's real. That's real. So, Deanna, so I want to talk about your project, and I want to talk about um, how people can help you with this project. So
Great.
let's talk about that.
Great. So, how you can help me is you can get some money. You see this little thing scrolling down here at the bottom, www.togetherchicago.com/I'm tired. This project is to raise funds for Black and Brown businesses, well, Black businesses, I'm going to tell the truth, on the south and west sides of Chicago. Statistics show that 17% of white businesses will not make it through COVID. 17% of white businesses.
Wow.
Those same statistics show that 40% of Black businesses will not make it through COVID.
Wow.
And I was talking to some OGs, I'll call them, who lived through the 60s and saw the riots in the 60s, and some of those buildings that were burned down, some of those buildings or storefronts that were damaged where businesses were, some of those never came back. And it's the year 2020. And some of those never came back. We cannot afford that, right? We
Wow.
cannot afford another 50 years of businesses not being in our neighborhood. So, yes, we are supporting them by giving them our business, but we need to support them even further than that, right? There are PPA loans and stuff out there, SBA loans, all kind of stuff. They're loans and stuff though, right? And so we want to put some money in people's hands. Not only that, the organization that I partnered with, Together Chicago, They are not only just giving grants, they are giving business consultations as well, business acumen. So, hey, let's get a plan together to help you get through this COVID. And they are giving those away as part of this whole program. It doesn't cost the business owner anything because we want to pour into our own people, y'all. I ain't mad at nobody else people, but we need to pour into our own people too. And so we're raising funds to do that. We have, this is the second video. The third video will be out in about 3 weeks. But we are accepting donations all the time. That website, www.togetherchicago.com/I'm tired. Give whatever you can, please. It is definitely going to a great cause.
Yeah, thank you, Deanna. That is great, and I think it is again that goes back to our responsibility. We hear a lot of conservative people say, "Why would they tear up stuff in their own neighborhood?" Blah blah blah. The reality is, none of that stuff in our neighborhoods we own. So this is an opportunity for us to help business owners that may be struggling during this pandemic. And may need some assistance in other areas. And some of these loans, it's amazing though. I want you to know a lot of these loans are getting to a lot of white people easily, but it's barely, if any, are getting to Black and brown people in our communities. And so, if we don't take
the whole thing you were talking about, right? It's reading and stuff, and some of it is we just don't have the knowledge, right? We don't even know what's out there some of the times. That whole trickle down thing never trickled down to us. So we just don't know.
So we have a responsibility. This is an opportunity for us to not only stand up for our community, but take it back. By helping other Black business owners that may be going through some challenges throughout this time. And America is sort of kind of shady in its way, in that it's really the small businesses that really is the blood, sweat, and tears of America. And so the fact that this country is not trying to figure out ways or how to help small business owners, again, it's all this red tape and BS, and again, a lot of the monies is not getting to where the real need is.
Right.
And that is the challenge. And so, in lieu of that,
there are programs out there. Let's just put that out there. There are programs out there. The mayor has done some stuff. There are definitely, but nobody anticipated this lasting as long as it's lasting.
Right.
Yeah. So those were short-term measures to try to get through a short-term problem, and it has lasted much longer than that. So there are much more things are needed.
Right. And then, you may say, well, they got, if a business owner got $10,000, for some people, that is just the lease on their building. So, and the pandemic started in March. Okay. Well, that's been depleted since April, and so, we want to try to do our part, and I know it's a matter of a pandemic. And so, if you can donate, we want you to donate. I am going to donate, and I want you to, if you can, donate. And we're going to keep sharing this feed.
Let me throw this out there too. If you can't donate, ain't no shame, right? Because I know what that feels like. I'm in the middle of a pandemic, right? I don't have any work right now, but you can share it, please. If you can't donate, please at least share it on your social media feed so as many people out there can see it. And there are people who have some money who can give to it. I absolutely know that. And so please, if you can't give, at least share. Thank you.
Yep, I think that's so important because I don't want people to feel bad. That's never the case for any of these things. If you can't give, you can't give. But again, there is something that you can do. So I echo what Deanna said about sharing it. You can share it. You can let people know about the great conversation that was had today and about this whole I'm Tired series. And you can help small businesses in one area, but then also you can also find out, in those of you that are watching this thing nationally, you can find out some other ways you can help small businesses in your area. It's one thing to support them and go support them by buying their products. I am working on a Black Friday event where I will do an event on a Friday and call it Black Friday, and we get to connect with Black business owners and talk about the services that they get to offer or that they offer, and then and put their websites up as people can purchase some of the services that they offer. Because again, it's about awareness, because most people will spend their money at the big box retailers like Target, and I shop at Target, so no shade to Target. But if I know that a black business owner has some of the same products, I can get those products from them, especially if they can get them to me, ship them to me, or whatever. Then it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So while we have this downtime, let's try to figure out ways that we can keep that black dollar spinning and turning in our communities as much as possible. So, Deanna, any final words? Let me just say this: you so dope, girl.
Take one and no one.
Listen here. I so appreciate you. I so appreciate you on so many levels. I appreciate you for being you and unapologetically. That I love all of that. And so I appreciate you for being who you are. And then, with all the stuff that you're doing, the stuff that you're constantly doing, all the stuff that you will do, you always keep it real. I appreciate that level of integrity, the level of authenticity that I feel like that we need to see. And that real recognized real. And I think that's why we've gotten along through the years. That real recognized real.
I know it.
Because I love anybody. I love everybody until they're out of pocket, until they're wrong. And there's one thing my mom always taught me is that right don't wrong nobody.
Don't wrong nobody. Your mom used to say that too. Right don't wrong nobody.
We'll get you checked. We'll get you right together in a respectful way. But
Right.
listen, yeah. So yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for taking the time out of your schedule to come chop up with me. Please give our viewers any final words, any final thoughts of inspiration that you can encourage people that may even want to aspire to do what you do as a creator.
Yeah. I didn't know I was gonna do final words, but these are final words.
We can do it together.
No, it's cool. It's no happenstance that you are alive right now. It is not a coincidence. I don't, if you believe in God or if you believe in a higher power or whoever you believe in, destined you to be here on the earth alive during a pandemic and during all of this civil unrest and this new civil rights movement. Okay, so get that in you first, and then say, what am I supposed to be doing during this time? Because it would seem unwise for a wise God to put you in the middle of this and you not have any part of it. Right? So just ask. Again, I call him God, your creator. Ask, what is my part in this? And then have the courage to move forward in it once you know.
That's real. That's real. I think it is very important for us to do that. And I think during this time where, everybody is not down. Everybody still has, there are a lot of people that are still busy, that are still moving around and taking care of business, taking care of some people still working during this time. But I think it is very important that all of us try to be intentional about spending some time connecting with our true authentic self.
Yeah.
To find out our true, our true, unique, authentic purpose, because all of us have one.
Yeah.
And so it is incumbent of us to to be in connect with our creator, to get clear about what that is, but then also put some action steps in place to start changing the world. You are a world changer. The world don't change without you. And so all of us have our role. I wouldn't call it a little bitty role. It's a huge role because some of you are raising the next Barack Obama, or some of you are raising the next Kamala. And so it is important that we are that our children or that our young people that are looking up to us see us changing the world.
Yeah.
One thing at a time, So this whole campaign, I'm tired, is changing the world one viewer at a time.
Come on.
It's also changing the world one black business at a time.
Yeah.
And so I want to encourage you, those of you that can, Donate if you cannot donate. It will mean the world to the whole idea of I'm tired. To share it, send it out, to email it to people. You can copy this link and email it to people. It's like, hey, this is something that we should get behind
Yeah.
because it's just right. And
Yes.
if we don't take care of us, who's gonna do it? Right? So I want to encourage everybody to do that. Deanna, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for being a real one.
Thank you.
For being a real one.
I
I didn't
can't
mean
do that. I don't know how to do that, but that's my fake one. You can't see my lower body, so.
thank you for being a real one, Deanna. So
Thank
this
you,
this
honey.
is this is my melanin shirt. So
I
text
love
me.
it.
I'm gonna send it right to you. So text me all your information. I'm gonna send you this melanin shirt. It's brown too.
This is my holy days.
Woo! Listen here.
Okay, I love it. I was gonna say something about it. Thank you.
So yeah, this is one of my shirts, my T-shirt coming. Please send me all your. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you this week. So thank you
Okay,
so much for
thank
taking the
you.
time to be a part of Moments of Clarity. You are the bomb. I
Oh,
promise
thank
you.
you, Charlie. I appreciate you for having this platform. I want to say that. Thank you for giving artists a platform to speak. A lot of times we just get to kind of do our art, but we don't get to talk about it. So I appreciate you opening this platform and having me here. Please, thank you.
But for me, this is how I can contribute, right?
Yeah,
Because I'm similar to you in the way that people have seen me as the good one, right? He's cool. He doesn't like to, he don't like to ruffle feathers.
hmm
He's chill. I'm chill.
hmm
I'm cool. I can get along with anybody. It don't take two times. You meet me, you gonna like me
yeah,
like in 2 seconds.
yeah,
That's just who I am. It's my
yeah.
personality. It's infectious. But however, comma, you talk to that fool now, he'll show up.
And when he show up, he loud.
Watch this. He loud, and what you think is ratchet, he takes it to a whole nother level.
Ooh, next level ratchet. Next level.
Listen, Dion Cole call it managing your blackness.
Yeah. Oh, my. That's what we
and,
all doing on a
and
daily basis.
we are managing that blackness every day. Um,
Man.
so, but yeah, I want to encourage you. I love you so much. I so
Love you
appreciate
too.
I appreciate your gift and what you bring to any situation. You know, you just have a different way of looking at the world, and I appreciate that element as you bring all that stuff to all your creative efforts. So I'm constantly praying for you, constantly sending you
Thank you.
positive energy,
Thank you.
and I'm constantly praying for the doors that you want to open.
Mm. That God wants to open for me. That's the ones I want open.
Right. But there's some ones that you want too that you like.
That's true.
If I had something like that,
That's true.
I'm telling you, those are all God ideas.
Yeah.
Those
Yes,
are all
ma'am.
God
Good.
ideas. I'm praying for those to manifest. So listen,
Thank
sister,
you.
I love you so much.
I
Thank you
love
so
you
much for
too,
taking
Charlie.
the time. I'll share this. I'm gonna actually even boost this on Facebook. This was such a great conversation.
Oh, yay.
Woo! Man.
Yay. I hope the people what my husband wrote something. Send to he said send to. He want a t-shirt. Earl Foster.
Listen, Earl, listen, just because you married a queen, sir, I got you. So listen, Deanna, send me both y'all sizes. Go send both
I
of
didn't even know he was on here.
I got you, King. I got you, man. So listen, Deanna, send me both y'all sizes. I got
Okay.
them. I'll send them out to you guys.
Will
And
do.
I am proud. I just my team just put out another commercial promoting our t-shirts. So
Oh,
you
cool.
guys, once you guys get the shirts, take pictures in them, and we'll
Okay.
definitely put you guys in our next commercial. So I love you,
We'll
girl.
take
Thank you for taking
pictures.
the time to come hang out with me today. I appreciate it, girl.
All right. Love you, Charlie.
Love you too. Until next time, this is Miss Deanna-Reed Foster, guys. We love you, girl. We'll see you next time, okay? All right, bye. Yeah, that was so dope. Earl, I got you, bro. I got you. Thank you guys so much for taking time to come to Moments of Clarity. Those of you that are in Fresno or I guess anywhere, I'll be also a guest speaker tonight with an organization called Block Fresno. They're going to be on live at 5:30 today. So go to my page, like my page. You'll see some information about that, and I think we'll have a link. It's for a Zoom call, so I think we'll have a link that you can click on and you can come check out. But again, it's Block Fresno. It's a group of African American professionals that come together. They meet on a regular basis and they just talk about things of try to inspire and encourage each other, especially during the pandemic, but also as Black Americans that are living in societies that obviously don't quite hear Black people as much as they should. So we'll be talking about some things that we can do as individuals and how we can be involved in helping move this moving culture forward. So follow my page. I'll post some things up when I get off this live. But thank you again for taking time of the day to come chill with your boy. I appreciate you. I'm here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. And each week I have a different guest. Next week, we're going to start a coaching series. We're going to keep our creative series going, but I'm going to start a coaching series. So those of you that are interested in what a life coach is, what a life coach does, I'm going to start a series a coaching series with some life coaches. So next week I have a life coach and we're going to talk about some interesting things. So definitely make sure that you follow me to get that information. So next Tuesday we're going to be meeting with some life coaches and then we'll come back to our creative series and then we'll go back to our coaching series. Then we'll come back to our creative series and it's going to be really, really dope. So definitely follow my personal page, Charlie Tubbs 3. Then also go to my professional page, Charlie Tubbs the Third. You can follow me there. I'm also on Twitter. I'm also on IG, Charlie Tubbs the Third. It'll come up every time. And then you can follow me there. A lot of cool things that we're working on that you'll definitely be excited about. So please follow me. Also, if you can, I'll say it again. I'll stress it again. Donate. The website is www.togetherchicago.com/I'm tired. Donate to that cause if you can. I am going to be donating this week. I want to encourage you, those of you that can donate, do so. But then all those of you that know somebody that could donate, fine. Send them, just forward the information on to them. As we keep forwarding, as we keep sharing this information, we'll come across people that can donate and that can show support to this wonderful cause. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with me on Moments of Clarity. And till next Tuesday, I want you to be intentional by staying positive in this space. There's so many things that could cause you to be discouraged. Stay positive. You are what you're looking for. You are the change that we want to see in the world. So make sure that you are being around people that are helping you to and that are challenge some of your ideas so that you can change. As you change, the world changes. As you shift, the world shifts. As you become, as you heal, the world heals. It's one person at a time. So until next week, stay positive, stay creative, and most importantly, my brother and my sisters, stay clear. We'll see you next week. Okay. Bye bye.